Dear students, today we would like to study one more lesson which is related to the great scientist. He is none other than the Galileo. That's what they have put you and title as Galileo. So here Galileo is a great scientist as well as astronomer who discovered modern telescope. Because of this telescope he famous as Galileo Galilei. So before going to start Galileo, I would like to share with you some of the scientists' names. Those are Archimedes, Einstein, and the great personality of our India is none other than APJ Abdul Kalam, who discovered missiles, and Newton. So today I am going to discuss with you the lesson Galileo. So which is what the information is given in this lesson is related to Galileo and about his discoveries. Yes, let's come to the lesson part line by line. It is common knowledge that the earth is a planet revolving around the sun. There is a common knowledge. Today everyone knows that earth is revolving around the sun. So nowadays what we came to know that there is a sun is fixed. So every planet and every heavenly bodies are revolving around the sun. But in earlier days, what happened? See, but there was a time not many centuries ago. It means that earlier, when even learned men believed that, even learned men means the scholars, those who get good knowledge related to the studies. So we call them as learned persons. Even when even learned men believed that the earth was fixed in the space. So before that, what they have fixed in their mind? The earth was fixed in the space. Yes, and the sun and all other heavenly bodies, revolving around the earth. The learned men came to know that earth is fixed in the space. So including sun and all the heavenly bodies revolving over this earth. But this matter changed. How changed? Let's see. Fixed in space, and the sun and other heavenly bodies went around it. The man who first brought to light the facts about them was a great scientist and astronomer called Gelileo Galilei. But here the Galileo Galilei brought the fact that there is a fixed in the space, not earth. The sun is fixed, including earth. Everything is revolving around this sun. So who gave the knowledge? Galileo Galilei gave the knowledge. But before that, the scholars and learned people know that earth is fixed in the space and the rest of the heavenly bodies including sun revolving around him. But who discovered and who showed the truth? Galileo Galilei showed the truth. Yes. The man who first brought the light means who gave the knowledge to the common people. It means already the common people knew that. So earth is fixed in the space, including a sun and every rest of the heavenly bodies revolving over him. But who gave the light to us? That is none other than Galileo Galilei. Okay, scientist and astronomer. He is not only a scientist but also a great astronomer called Galileo Galilei. He was born in the year 1564. When did he born? 1564. In the year Galileo Galilei born in the year 1564 in the Italian town of Pisa, where Italian town of Pisa. He got the birth. Italian town of Pisa in the year 1564. Who gave the knowledge? Who gave the light to us? Galileo Galilei gave the light that sun is fixed in the space, including earth and rest of the heavenly bodies revolving over the sun. So this idea is given by the Galileo Galilei. Let's see. In the year 1608, a man called Hans Lippershey. In the year 1608, Holland. He is from Holland. His native is Holland. Whose native? Hans Lippershey's native is Holland. So he is from Holland. 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 Invented the telescope. Before going to invent the telescope, who discovered? Hans Lippershey from Holland discovered the telescope. The first discovered telescope is by Hans Lippershey from Holland. Telescope. The instrument with which astronomers watch the skies. So telescope is a kind of instrument. It helps us to watch the skies, in the stars in the skies. Yes. The instrument with which astronomers watch the skies. Skies means, stars, some Milky Way, and so many planets we see through the telescope. So that will help. The instrument with which astronomers watch the skies, the telescope, make distant objects appear to be near and magnified several times. When we see the objects of the skies through the telescope, those objects appear very nearer to us. Very nearer to us. So because of his telescope, we have seen that. Here, astronomer means, see, astronomer. Astronomer means a scientist who studies heavenly bodies. A scientist who studies heavenly body, we call him as astronomer. Magnify means make bigger, make something, to make something bigger. If we see through the telescope, some small stars can appear in bigger size. That is called magnify or magnified several times over. When Galileo heard about the invention, he became greatly interested in it. So when he heard about this telescope, which is discovered by Hans Lippershey, then he was very much interested towards the telescope. Yes, when Galileo heard about the invention, he became greatly interested in it. So he showed his interest towards that telescope, how it is, and how the things, objects appear very bigger in size. I want to see. So he was very curious about that. He had at this time begun to study astronomy by taking that, it means he had that telescope, and at this time began study astronomy. Then he studied about astronomy, Khalgola Shastra. Astronomy means Khalgola Shastra. And he saw that the invention would be a wonderful aid. And he saw that. So when he saw through the telescope, then he showed interest, and he said that the invention would be a wonderful aid. This instrument, this invention is very helpful for the astronomers and the scientists. So it is a wonderful aid. Aid means help or tool. Aid means help or tool. It's a kind of instrument, and it helps us a lot. Who says so? The Galileo Galilei says so. and he saw that invention would be a wonderful aid to the astronomer. He set out work on making a telescope for himself. Then he made up his mind to discover his own telescope. By keeping it as a model, he wanted to discover one more telescope. He set to work on making a telescope for himself, and very soon succeeded in making one which was better than the leprosy had made. So when he made up his mind to discover a new telescope, ultimately at the end he got succeeded, and he made the instrument more than good as compared to leprosy's telescope. What leprosy had made, his discovered telescope is much more better than him. This much is enough today. The rest of the things will be continued in my next video class.